I actually was travelling back in the plane from Brussels.
I was in the stadium. I was commentating for ITV.
We were in New York with the Spice Girls in a bar watching it.
It's difficult to describe, really. It all happened so quickly.
The captain announced that England were in extra time.
The challenge came in. He went down. He flicked his leg out in a retaliation, if you like, and just a get off me type thing. It wasn't really a nasty thing. It wasn't a violent thing. He was never going to hurt the lad. And the lad's reaction, it's not the reaction you would expect from a professional football player, but that's what happens nowadays. And the referee, you just knew he was going to send him off. I knew he was going to send him off.
I don't think we realised exactly what was happening. He kicked this guy and was sent off, and we were thinking, oh, that didn't seem fair.
I didn't realise how serious it was, what he'd actually done. And to this day, not that I know a lot about football, I think that there was a lot more to blame than David.
I didn't think it was enough to get sent off for. I just think it was a reaction, not a good one, but a reaction to something. There was no malice in it. It wasn't going to break anyone's leg or anything like that.
Everybody in the plane went like that, looked round at me. They all like that, looked round at me, and I'm sitting like that. Not motionless, not saying, not showing a crack at all,
On the pitch, just put my arm around him, said, I don't know what you're saying. And I wouldn't say unlucky, just basically, it's happened. Put my arm around him, he walks off into the top. He'll probably be more lonely in the dressing room. It's a lonely feeling. That walk off a pitch feels like, it might only be 30 yards, but it feels like 30 miles.
When he came in after the Argentina game, yes, we were all sad, but I think some people, obviously, what he'd done, and he was more sadder than anybody, and he just needed some comfort and some love.
I don't think anybody was prepared for what happened after that.
It wasn't until, I think, the next day that we realised just what the repercussions were going to be.
And I says, you get the blazes out of the country, just get whatever you're going to get now.
He'd gone to see Victoria in America for a couple of weeks.
You won't believe after things that went on.
The Sun newspaper hanged him outside a pub, put a sarong on a dummy and a headscarf, and hanged him outside a pub.
We had a phone tapped.
The Mirror had a pull-out dartboard with David's head in the middle.
We were followed to the airport.
He was the most hated man in Britain.
Everybody just thought it was so unjust at the time.
But these things happen in football. This wasn't something that was new. People make mistakes on football pitches, and luckily for David at that time, it was his turn to suffer in that match.
It's not a crime to make a mistake. It's a crime not to learn from it. And I think where David's been really special in that is he's learned from that.
I actually think that he went to the World Cup a boy and came home a man.
Yeah, I do think about it at times. I think about what could have happened if it hadn't have happened, or what might have happened. But it's something I've come to terms with.